We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. There's been reports all over the area of something crazy going on, something big. People's homes, their minds even, are being taken over by something called, what is it they're calling it? They're calling it Bad Movie Debate.
What up, nerds? It's me, Jacob Babb, for Bad Movie Debate, here to talk about another is it good, is it bad kind of movie. You know it, you love it, we'll get to it. But with me today, I have Jack Rossberger. Say, what up?
What up? Thanks for having me.
You are the first person, I think, to actually say what I tell you to say. I'm always like, say hi, and they're like, what up? And I'm like, that's not right. Or I'm like, say what up?
Maybe they just want to say what up.
I don't know. I don't know. But this is going well. You're already doing what I tell you to do.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
I think I'm going to win.
Yeah, I'm here to abide to the rules.
There you go. Okay, so we're doing Eight-Legged Freaks today, which when you messaged me when I was like, hey, gotta get you on, and you're like, oh, have you done Eight-Legged Freaks? I was kind of surprised that I hadn't come across it yet. I was like, no, we haven't done that yet. Like, yeah, we absolutely need to do that. This is a bit of a nostalgia movie for you, right?
100%. 100%. I was born in 97 and came out the summer of 2002, so it was like the summer hit back then, and it scared me shitless, a little 5-year-old self. The CGI held up back then, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I just watched it last night for the first time in well over a decade, and I was like, it's funny, we'll get to the reviews, but like in a lot of the reviews, like from the time, they're like computer effects look great, special effects look great, and I'm just like, man, it was over 20 years ago, I guess. So, but I thought that was
I did not read any of the reviews, so I'm very curious to go through those
choice quotes. I always pick the most brutal bad quote from a review, and whatever like good review is like, oh, that's kind of well put.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of great reviews because
it's mostly great.
This is a great movie.
So we're doing Eight-Legged Freaks, like we established. This is definitely a big monster movie for the genre. So we're going to do our top 5 so we can, as we always do, establish a little bit of a pedigree. We know what we're talking about here when it comes to these kind of movies.
100%.
So we're going to talk about some good ones for a second, because this one's not good. That's my stance on this one. You go first. Go ahead and tell me all top 5. You can do them in a specific order or not.
And I'm curious kind of the flavor you went with here.
I got some bangers on here.
You got some bangers?
Absolutely.
I have my handy dandy journal.
Shout out Michael and Zach. And I feel like one other person I'm forgetting, but they also had handwritten notes. I was like, that's crazy.
It's the way to go. I don't have these in order, but I'm going to look through this. So I'll just start at number 5.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to say I have some new school.
Okay.
Some old school.
Okay. Same.
Like Eight-Legged Freaks era. So I would say number 5 on my list here is The Meg with Jason Statham.
Yeah, dude. That was a good movie. That one, see, I agree with Jason Statham on that one, because when he signed up for it and already signed the contract, he was told it was going to be an R-rated gore fest. And it was going to be like way more brutal.
Interesting.
But I think, during production somehow, or like post production, they toned it down to make it PG-13. And he was like kind of like bummed out about that. He was like, no, like we had all this great stuff and like it's not in there. And I think it would have been better if it was just R-rated. They just
if it was more like Jaws level.
Yeah, because it's already just such a ridiculous like idea for a movie, and like no one's going in there looking for like they're not going in there looking for like the OG Jurassic Park kind of vibes, where it's like it actually kind of makes sense and there's like a philosophy here. I just want to see a big shark eat a bunch of people,
100%.
like one that's bigger than Jaws,
Yeah, 100%.
So, but I had a great time in theaters with that movie, so that's a great choice.
I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it with my family. It was just like, I don't know, Thanksgiving or Christmas, and so we always like just scour the previews for like an hour straight, and then we settled on The Meg, and I feel like the build-up was really, really solid.
Yeah, the story is actually done very well. All the acting is really good. Rainn Wilson is a piece of shit. He's such a fuck in that
Totally
movie.
forgot he was in that.
It's crazy, dude. Like,
yeah.
when he first showed up, I was like, oh, cool. Like, he's gonna be the funny guy, maybe. Like, and he was like, no, he was a straight up asshole.
Yeah.
But he did a really good job with it.
He did, and the build-up to see the Meg in full was
so
really
awesome.
solid. So I would say that's my number 5. We get to number 4 here. I would say Godzilla vs. Kong, the new one, the 2021. And the only reason I say that, and I think a lot of my list is based around like the big moment of seeing a big monster.
Yeah, like when you get it.
Yeah, and like the scene where Godzilla and Kong are just duking it out for like an hour and a half.
Like they're
in the
straight
movie.
up just like punching each other in the face and like blast, and like Godzilla's doing his thing. Yeah, it's
and then awesome. Out of nowhere, the Mecha Godzilla comes out and just starts blasting the city. And then Kong and Godzilla just kind of had like some telepathy, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta fuck this guy."
They're like, "Hey,
he's top of the food chain."
Yeah, like we're destroying the city because we hate each other. This guy's just trying to hurt people.
Yeah, right.
And that's not really our bag.
Yeah,
like we have personal issues, and we're killing a bunch of people,
100%, bro.
Like, and they're like, but the lesser of two evils kind of a situation. They're like, we gotta get this guy. That one's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So Mecha Godzilla is why this movie is on the list. Pretty solid movie in general, but just loved that moment.
Yeah, I've loved all of the new MonsterVerse movies that they've done.
They've done a really good job, and I have another one on the list here actually. So number 3 is Kong Skull Island with Tom Hiddleston. Another new school movie. Really loved it though. I think mostly because of just the cinematography.
Yeah,
and then the like. It felt like you were back in like the 1940s. Yeah, it was like 1940s, 50s.
Yeah, the tone. They did a good job with because that's when it takes place, right?
Yeah.
They don't modernize the timeline.
It's kind of like around World War II or maybe it's
there's
like
some war stuff going on.
There's some war
Brie
stuff.
Larson's like a war photographer kind of a vibe and things. Yeah. So it does take place like kind of in the standard, like the original.
Yeah, and then it had a little sci-fi twist at the end there with like the underworld. So
the Hollow Earth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which if you know, that's a crazy conspiracy to be just like in modern day like thought and like in the zeitgeist. Like that's insane that people just know about that because it's in movies now. But that's a whole different discussion.
Whole different podcast.
It's just weird.
Yeah,
that it's like, oh, this is just in movies now, like all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless,
love that movie. Just love the vibe of it. Just the visuals, the visual effects, and it felt like it was like that first coming of the new monster movies. I may be wrong.
So it was the first one was
like rebooted
Godzilla with Bryan Cranston
bit,
and Elizabeth Olsen and Millie Bobby Brown. That was the first one. And then
that
Kong.
one was okay.
That one, I liked that one good bit. It's not as good as like once they like actually start fighting each other and stuff. Like those ones are all King of the Monsters, Godzilla King of the Monsters. The second Godzilla one's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
Zach North and I did that. Because he's a big Godzilla Kong fan.
Nice.
And I won that debate, and he knew going in. He was like, this movie's absolute ass compared to the rest of them. He's like, but I'm gonna do my best, and he did a good job. It was like there's some moments, but overall it's just very silly. And then Kong, but Kong Skull Island. The first time I watched it, I don't know how do I say this. How do I say this? I'm
curious your thoughts.
Well, it was like the first time I saw it, I was definitely being, I guess the only way to put it is the truth. I was being like a pretentious asshole about it when I first saw it. And I was like, oh, it's doing too much. It's trying to say all these. I was like thinking about it too much. And it's like, there's too many like storylines going on. Like Brie Larson has hers and Tom Hiddleston has his.
Yeah,
and Samuel Jackson has his. So like, oh, it's about war. It's about this. It's about that. Like, and all these things all clashing together. And then the second time I watched it, I just turned my brain off and was just like, just watched the movie.
And enjoyed it.
And I was like, nah, this movie rocks. Yeah. No, I was like, actually, this movie fucking slaps. And all the shit I was bitching about is not as in your face as I was forcing it to be. So I love that movie.
I'm glad you came around.
Yeah, I love
glad
that movie.
you came around.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
So 2 and 1, we're getting serious here. Okay, these are the bangers. Anaconda 1997 with Jennifer
Okay.
Lopez and Ice Cube.
Okay.
I was actually between Eight-Legged Freaks and this
And
movie,
Anaconda.
but my memory of Anaconda is it is just a better movie.
Yeah.
So, and to my surprise, like I didn't even notice. You know, I was watching the trailers. I was like making this list, and I was like, "Oh my god, Jennifer Lopez is in it.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. I think Owen Wilson's in it too.
I think so.
I mean, it was just
At
like
least for like it's been so long.
I think he
since I've
like
seen
dies
Probably.
early or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He wasn't like in the top 5 actors.
Yeah, because he also wasn't like
on the
he
list.
wasn't like wow Owen Wilson like
Yeah,
like
right.
at that point like when that came out. So it was probably
He was
one
up
of
and
his,
coming.
Like,
He was like straight
Yeah.
out of acting school.
yeah, it was one of his
probably.
earlier roles. So he definitely got. Yeah, he is. He got offed early for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while since
A lot of people died in
Yeah.
it, but love that movie.
Yeah, Anaconda. Wow.
I would argue that CGI is actually better than.
Yeah.
Not trying to shit on my own movie here.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
It was
how
pretty
that
impressive.
happens. It's just crazy how that happens sometimes where like older movies have better CGI like than newer ones sometimes. Like I mean that still happens to this day. You know?
It does. The classic example is that everyone pop culture knows about is like Dead Man's Chest with
Oh my god.
the CGI in that. It's just like
Yeah.
blows
It's
new movies out of the
still,
water.
to this day. Some of the best. Like
Yeah. Crazy.
Davy Jones. God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of CGI's funky. So number 1, and I was just taking a gander at your books here. And
Oh,
you do
okay.
have the book War of the Worlds.
Oh, the Tom Cruise one or
with Tom
the OG?
Cruise.
The Tom Cruise
With Tom
one?
Cruise. I've never seen the OG.
So the OG one, it's important and it is very good. The Tom Cruise one is much more of a thrilling ride for sure. I remember seeing that one. I don't remember when it came out, but like definitely like too young, you know.
I think I wrote it down. I think it came out in 2004.
2004. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would have been like 4th grade. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't write it down. No.
Well, regardless,
what
it
it
was
feels
definitely in like elementary school when like around when it came out when I saw it.
Yeah.
And oh, that movie freaked me the fuck out, dude. But it was I really really liked that one. That one's awesome because I think that one. No, I think it's the same in both. But yeah, that one is. Speaking of good CGI, like that one all looked really good. They also did a lot of practical effects. I remember for like certain like smaller moment scenes and stuff. That one was awesome, and the way they built the monster, like the ships in it, because like the ships in the OG one are pretty 1950s goofy kind of looking. But at the time,
Yeah.
you're like whoa, mind blowing. But like the fact that they were like giant walking things added
Yeah.
a layer
Oh.
of like unsettlingness that like was really awesome.
Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Mhm. And rightfully so.
Yeah, this whole list was just based on like I'm not a movie critic. This was just straight up feeling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of nostalgia involved.
Mhm.
But man, War of the Worlds, like
Yeah,
that whole
movie
scene when
slaps.
they're like in the basement. That
Yeah.
guy's like housing him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I think
I
that's
want to watch it.
I think that's the
again.
scene I'm thinking about where there was some practical in there that made it just really good because like the arm comes through the window. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh
Ugh.
god, that's a fucking good movie.
Yeah, and then it showed that like how evil humans are. Like who's the real
Oh,
villain
yeah.
because of the guy
Mhm.
that was like housing them.
Oh yeah,
I can't
that
actually
sucked.
remember correctly. But yeah, and
I
then
know
just
that guy sucked. I remember that.
they sucked really bad, and then yeah, just generally like them like running away from this massive monster.
Yeah, the
Horrifying.
way they walked, like I don't think I'll ever forget. Like
Yeah.
seeing that, just being like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Oh, there's an older one." I watched that, and I was like, "Well, that's good, but this one's might be
Yeah.
a little better."
Yeah. Making this list makes me want to go back and watch some of these movies.
Oh, one of mine I watched Eight-Legged Freaks and then immediately watched one on my list because I was like, man, it's been a while since I've seen that, but like,
nice.
and it was like, God, it is way different.
Well, let's hear them.
So I'll start with that one. No particular order for me.
Okay.
The Mist.
Yeah,
God,
that was in
that movie.
That was in my notables,
Bro,
that almost made the list.
Good Lord. I was like, man, it's been a minute since I've seen it. And I was like, oh, I have a copy of that. Like I have a 4K copy of that. Like I'm going to put that on like as soon as I got done with Eight-Legged Freak. So it was like, I was like, well, I had to shit on that one. And like, there's, a good bit to shit on, kind of a thing. And I was like, I want to watch a good one. That's going to be on my list.
How was the watch?
I I mean, you can't ever forget the ending of that movie.
I know.
But like the little moments like building up to the end and stuff, like just like all the scenes with the crazy like religious lady in the supermarket and stuff, like certain moments with her and stuff, I was like, I'd leave too. Like she is so scary. Like okay, like kind of like the like, well, what's worse? Like, and they're like, well, we're just gonna go, and then if you know the ending, you know, I don't want to talk about it. Like I told Austin is not a big horror movie fan, and I was like talking to her about it today, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna kind of tell you all of it because you'll never watch it. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, it's an incredible movie. And she was like, no. She's like, that sounds fucking awful. And I was like, I mean, it is in like a great like filmmaking way, like kind of a thing.
It might be one of the most devastating endings of a movie ever.
Yeah, and I didn't it's so fucked up. I mean, but it's one of the best Stephen King endings. He's written so many books. He has a hard time sticking the landing and stuff. This one absolutely did. This one's gut wrenching.
I like the ending. I think
it's so good.
It made the movie what it is. It wouldn't be The Mist without that ending. No.
Let's just say if they all got out, it would have been like, whatever.
Crazy stuff.
The edition I have, I didn't realize there's also a black and white version.
Really?
And I was like, because I was looking at it, I was like, why are there 2 discs for the 4K and 2 discs for the Blu-ray? It's usually just 1 and 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, this is a black and white one. And I was like, I'm gonna let it sit. I was like, I'll watch the color, but I'm like, was watching it and I was like, this would hit really hard in black and white.
Oh yeah,
actually. Like
super eerie.
Like it'd be
very like
awesome.
Atmospheric movie.
Yeah, because it's like it's kind of got like, and I think that's what he was going for. Well, not to analyze this one too much, but like it has kind of like the big movie monster, small town, like 1950s kind of thing, but it's like modernized. Like it's not exactly copy and paste of it, but it's like heavily inspired by that, obviously, which this movie is too, Eight-Legged Freaks, and we'll talk about how they didn't do it right, but we'll get there.
Whoa.
So like seeing it in black and white, I think would feel nice, but I digress. So this one is actually in this movie on the TV in the kids' bedroom. The giant ant movie. Exclamation point.
Okay.
It's literally giant ants take over a small town. It's a direct.
I've never seen it.
Direct inspiration to this movie for sure.
I've never seen it.
It's been a while since I've seen it. But it's one of the first like some weird stuff's going on, and for some reason all these ants are like growing into giant monsters and they're terrorizing this small town, and like they can't get help.
So it came after Eight-Legged Freaks?
Oh no, this is from the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is like one of the first ones that ever did it.
Love it.
And it's
want to see that
CGI. Super well, it's all
non-existent.
Practical. It's all practical, which is nice, you know, and like, but it's kind of goofy, but like it takes itself pretty seriously, which we'll get more into it with Eight-Legged Freaks, why I had some issues with it. But like they take it themselves seriously, and like whenever I watch old movies like that, I always like to remind myself like at the time that this came out, you couldn't get better than this. Like this is a full Hollywood production. They're doing the best they can. And it would have scared the shit out of you at the time. If you were in the 50s and saw that in the theaters, it would have fucked you up. When people first saw a train coming towards the camera in a theater, they ran out of the theater because they were like, a train is on the way. Like you know what I mean? Like there was like, our brains didn't comprehend like moving images like that.
We definitely comprehend more just
exactly
of how advanced movies are now.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
kind of like the Star Wars effect. When Star Wars came out, everyone's minds were just blown.
Absolutely. And then
and rightfully so, honestly.
Well, and then he went and fucking put a bunch of CGI in the 90s in there and was like, this was the original vision, and everyone's like, what? This
it looks
it's not
worse.
Great.
Go back to miniatures, dude.
Yeah, dude, like it's so much better. It's so much better. But again, I digress. So The Mist and them, and then Troll Hunter. Have you ever seen Troll Hunter?
Never seen it, no.
So it's a Norwegian film, and it's literally about people making a documentary trying to like hunt trolls. Like, and it's like funny. It's pretty funny, and like it's not like, it's like a mockumentary style, and It's been a while since I've seen it, but like I don't think they take themselves too seriously with it. Like I think it's supposed to be like a horror comedy, and they just kind of nail it. Like there's some spooky or some like once you actually see the troll and he starts doing shit, it's kind of it's like, oh fuck,
it's like big troll,
like,
or
it's huge.
Okay,
it's massive. Like, and I think part of it is like they're not sure if it's gonna be big or small, because like, you know, there's trolls that are like teeny tiny and stuff, but then there are like legends of giant trolls and stuff, but they're just like, it's kind of like a mockumentary of like people going on like a paranormal like cryptid like Bigfoot hunting, but their thing is trolls in Norway. So like, but it's like very funny, but also like, holy shit, like this, it's a great movie.
It sounds good.
I highly recommend that one.
Sounds good.
And then I have Underwater with Kristen Stewart.
I've never seen it either.
That one is good. So I, as I talked about earlier, I've already done big monster movies with Zach because we did a Godzilla movie. So I was trying to like
mix it up.
I wasn't trying to repeat.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't gonna say like
that.
The Blob and the original Godzilla again. And
is
like
that
stuff
one
like
fairly newer? I'm assuming?
Underwater, I want to say is like 2015 to 16 or something. It's way past Twilight. Kristen Stewart. But that one's awesome because it's like,
what's the big monster?
So it's like a Cthulhu, like Lovecraftian type monster, because they're like literally, they're like researchers like in like a research like center that's like under like on the bottom of the ocean kind of a thing. And it's like it literally starts, and within 5 minutes like shit is going south already. So like the pacing is insane. It's like there's no slow build up and stuff. Like there's build up to see the monster, like to actually see the like Cthulhu type monster and stuff, and they like don't know exactly what's going on, but like shit's going wrong. It's like, oh,
so you get into it quickly.
Yeah, like it's literally like
just...
like she's like walking down the hallway doing her job, and then all of a sudden like boom, like, oh, there's a breach, like there's a leak and stuff, like where is everybody? Oh my god, people died in the breach, like we have to go here, like, and like da 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 da. And then like it slows down a bit, but it's like it's a lot of gas, but like not in the way that like some of the newer Fast and Furious movies are, where it's just like all gas, like, and when it slows down it's like you have to slow things down. Like they slow it down in a way that's like a little better written, a little more meaningful feeling. You got me and
curious
stuff. It's super good.
I feel like maybe I've seen this or seen clips of it.
Kristen Stewart has like really short blonde hair, like a buzz cut blonde kind of hair going on. And I want to say TJ Miller is in it, and he actually does a really good job.
I feel like this movie, I like walked in on it halfway or something.
Yeah. It was like it'd be hard to tell because like it's literally like all action and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very good though. I highly recommend that one. And then the last one I got is Super 8.
Super 8.
Abrams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That movie rocks, dude.
Dang, I didn't even think of that one.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but like. That was like, you know, J.J. Abrams been doing his thing for a while and stuff, but that's the one that's like, oh, he grew up wanting to be Steven Spielberg. That's such a Steven Spielberg, like Goonies meets Close Encounters, like kind of a vibe in a way that is, because it's like a bunch of kids like trying to like help the big monster, because like it's like not necessarily like it's so Goonies and
I think
Steven Spielberg.
I watched that as a kid and I didn't understand it.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I think it may have been too like, would you say intellectual?
Oh, I said pretentious.
Oh, okay.
I was being a pretentious fuck because I was in college and I was into movies and was like, like being a bitch.
Yeah, but I saw it. I think I saw it in theaters as a kid, and I just remember coming out. I was a smart kid, but I just remember like not really understanding it. It is. I want to rewatch that.
It did. I've watched it like a couple of times, and like I got more out of it like after not watching it for a while. Like I saw it I don't think I saw it in theaters, but like pretty soon after it was released, like you could watch it at home. And I don't think I watched it again for like a good like 5 or 6 years. And I was like, oh wow, this movie is like even I liked it the first time, but I was like, oh, this is even much more than I like
Yeah, that's the sense I get.
Yeah,
from
it's
it.
very much like a kid. Like a kid will watch it and be like, oh yeah, like these kids are going on this adventure, and then like you grow up a little bit, have a little more life experience, and you're like, wow, this is like crazy. Like what's going on and like what they're doing right now, kind of a thing. I need to watch that one again. It's been a really long time since I've seen it at this point. But that movie, yeah, it's just so Spielberg coded, and you're
back
like,
to Spielberg. Wasn't War of the Worlds Spielberg, or am I just?
It was either. It might have been.
I think it might have been.
I need to double check because it's either him or Ron Howard. Because Ron Howard was doing a bunch of stuff that in
yeah, look it up. I'm curious.
War of the Worlds, 2005. So yeah, I would have been in 5th grade. Yeah, Steven Spielberg did that one. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, which explains why it was so fucking good. Because that movie it's crazy how good that movie is. Okay, great. So we both know what the fuck we're talking about. Got all kinds of stuff. I didn't even think about Anaconda for some reason. I don't know how. Like that movie fucking slaps.
Yeah,
like
the movie's incredible.
It's so good, and like you're right, better CGI than the movie we're actually here to talk about.
Like
which is scary.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. But it's fine. We'll get to it. But first, we got to hit them ratings. We got to get that Rotten Tomatoes and all that shit real quick.
Let's do it.
Quotes, and then we can really get down to
it. You're just framing your arguments with these reviews.
So here's the thing about the ratings. I was kind of shocked about how the ratings went on this one. So 9 times out of 10, people who listen regularly and stuff, like you'll know, Rotten Tomatoes with these movies, it's usually like, yeah, the critics don't love it. The audience likes it more. IMDb is usually always right in the middle between 6.0 and 7.0, no matter what it is.
I think I remember it being a 5.5.
5.5 on IMDb, which is one of the lowest on IMDb I've seen, which I thought was weird. I will say, like, I'm arguing against it, but I still thought that was kind of weird that like this average IMDb user wasn't like, yeah, it was fun. Like,
right.
And then Rotten Tomatoes 48% from critics, which I thought was high for like the people who get paid to like talk about movies. 33% on the popcorn meter. The audience hated this movie a whole 15% more than the critics did, which I think is insane.
So
like that's a weird
let's talk about the ratings for a second. Mm-hmm. The internet popped off in like 2000, okay?
That's
and this came out in
2002, and once the internet became not just like weird random forums where people were talking about stuff I'm not going to talk about on the internet.
If you were going to the movies summer of 2002, I want to know what you thought leaving the theater.
That's true.
Because
that's true.
Are people watching it now and they're just like, oh,
there was some like users, there was some like more like just like Rotten Tomatoes like audience like reviews on there that were definitely from I think all the reviews, if not most of them if not all of them rather, were from like when it came out. From the top critics. But I think a lot of the audience one, because it said like 10,000 plus like reviews. There was like 100 reviews from critics specifically, and then it was like 10,000 plus for popcorn. And so like
they relate to the party.
Are like just saw it last week. And we're like, why do people fucking love this movie so much? It's like, because I was a young child and I am scared of spiders. And at the time, it was crazy because that was good CGI, like, as far as I knew. And then Metacritic, 53 for their critic scores and user 5.9. Metacritic's always usually pretty harsh on both sides, I've noticed. And yeah, that makes a little more sense to me. A little lower from the critic, a little higher from the user is what I was expecting.
Yeah,
from like Rotten Tomatoes. That's
especially
usually
for a movie like this.
Yeah, it's weird. The Rotten Tomatoes score on this one I thought was very weird. But again, it was like it was literally like 10,000.
People just don't understand it.
They just don't get it. They don't get it. Well, we'll see. So our good quote here. I always love when these bad movies have good quotes from Robert Ebert, the Robert Ebert for the Chicago Sun-Times. Chicago. Both of these are from Chicago.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. I'm also with you on that. Both of these come from 2 different Chicago newspapers at the time, the good one and the bad one. So Robert Ebert, though, he says, quote, Eight-Legged Freaks is clever and funny, is amused by its special effects, and leaves you feeling like you've seen a movie instead of an endless trailer, end quote. So he was like, this isn't just a trailer movie. Like, there's a full story and narrative going on, and it's amusing, and like the special effects like work and stuff. Like, he was all for it. He was like, great. He does a 4-star is like what he always did. So he gave it a 3 out of 4, which like there's movies like Star Wars, I think he gave a 4 out of 4. But like there's like
it's rare.
Like Godfather movies. Like Godfather Part 3 is like 3 out of 4. He's like, it's the worst one, but it's still a Godfather. Like kind of like he gives like highbrow shit 3 out of 4 sometimes, and he gave this a 3 out of 4.
That's impressive.
Is insane from him too, because like that's like
that rating scale is a little.
I know he
doesn't really help him.
He's weird. I don't know. And I don't think he does half stars sometimes. He does the half star thing, but
old head.
Yeah. Well, he did, but yeah, he was.
Oh, he is. Rest in peace.
Yeah. He's fine. All right. Then our bad quote comes from Michael Wilmington for the Chicago Tribune, a competing newspaper in Chicago at the time.
Okay.
And he wrote, quote, however many screaming teenagers it produces at the multiplexes, Eight-Legged Freaks isn't good or funny enough to reinvigorate the style. It can't even maintain its own initial zing, end quote. So, as always, a bad quote from somebody who was very hurt the day he had to write this review. He brought his home personal pain into work and took it out on this movie. Yeah, a lot of people worked hard on this movie, Michael.
I think they both have something to say about the movie. Like, I think there's some level.
I think they're both right and wrong at the same time.
100%. Which very polarizing takes by both of them.
Yeah, but like, it's not funny enough to reinvigorate the style. And for me, I'm like, it isn't good or funny enough to reinvigorate the style. And my question is, what style? Like, what style is he talking? Is he talking about the classic 1950s small town gets run over by aliens or big monster kind of a thing? Because like those movies aren't funny. Those movies, especially at the time, were scary. Like those were horror thriller movies. And so like they weren't supposed to be funny.
And I'm not like a bit like. I love movies. I'm not a big movie buff, but it seems like this kind of movie is somewhat unique in that way. Yeah. Like there's not many of them.
I need to check on something.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, I need to check on something. When did Scary Movie come out? Because Scary Movie is the like that's the original. Nope. So Scary Movie 2 came out in 2001.
Okay.
And then Scary
Movie... So this was following
Scary
kind of
Movie 1 came out in 2000.
All
so
right.
Scary Movie 1 and 2, bangers, obviously. Honestly, all the way to 3. 1, 2, and 3. I don't think I ever saw past 3. All bangers. So I think that's the style he's talking about. Like the like horror comedy style. Where it's kind of like spoofing these type, like a certain type of
because they kind of created that style a little bit.
Oh yeah. They were the first ones, and again, all of those movies, they're all three of the first ones are so fucking funny. So I think that's what it is. But then it can't even maintain its own initial zing. Chill, brother. Like, hey man, it's zinging left and right.
It's zinging all the time. It's
all over the goddamn place. I don't know what 100%. This guy's talking about, but it is what it is. Okay, now it's time for the curveball.
Okay.
The curveball for you. And I'll let you expound on this however shortly or quickly you would like. So you're saying it's good and I'm saying it's bad. That's the positions we're taking.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite part about this movie? Where's the thing? It can be as simple as like the CGI. Like it could be that, which we've even already talked about, but like what's the one thing where you're like, that's kind of hard to defend, kind of a thing.
That's a very good question. I would say the writing felt a little all over the place. It was like the little love story. I hated the little love story with I think his name. I just watched
David Arquette.
I think his name was Chris.
Yes, he's Chris. Yeah, I was literally like, yeah, David.
Yeah, David.
Like, nope, that's the actor. And I literally watched it. Yeah. This time last night, I was watching it.
Chris comes into town and he's like, I've been wanting to tell you, like he brings flowers to her door. And it's like, I've been wanting to tell you this, and then he gets cut off. Mm-hmm. And then middle of the movie, he's like, I've been meaning to say this to you. Mm-hmm. And then he gets cut off. Mm-hmm. The third time, I've been meaning to say this to you. Yeah. They're like about to die.
Yeah.
And then the kid walks up, and then at the end of the movie, the spoiler alert, they kill the spiders, and then they just kind of like hug.
Well, like,
and then it's like over.
Well, no, there's the scene where he goes to do it again. He's going to find his Aunt Gladys, and then like take on like the female Weaver.
Yep.
And she's like, really, right now? And he's like, yeah, I might not get the chance. And she's like, I know, your father told me. The reason you punched my husband in the face is because he was cheating on me, but you didn't want to break up my family and stuff. And that's why you had to leave town. Your father told me. He's like, what? And he's like, we'll talk more about it later. And she gives him a kiss. And he's like, well, that was easy. And he walks. Yeah. And then he walks out, and then on.
It just was like, it felt like just fast forward, inconclusive. I would say that's my biggest gripe about the movie. I'm like, why was this even here?
That was one of the negative reviews. Like said, alluded to it in some way. I forget exactly what it said, but it was like this, like something about like a tired joke, like is like really distracting basically from the movie. And I was like, yeah, because like as soon as he's like turned to her and he'd have that look on his face, which again is David Arquette being a good and funny actor, you know, because like he'd always turn and have the same like look on his face, which was good, but it was like, but the bit's not hitting, you know?
Yeah, like, it just felt like underdeveloped, and like, why do we have a love story in this? If you're gonna do a love story in it, then just commit to the bit, do it good. But I mean, it is a funny movie in my opinion, so I think him getting cut off, and then it was kind of slapstick at the end. I mean, it kind of fits, but
well, that's the thing. It's like it is a part of the, you know, like movies like Them and like It Came from Outer Space and like all of those kind of movies where it's like small town 1950s, some weird sci-fi shit's going on. There is always like a little bit of like some kind of a love interest, some like 50-50 on like, it's like, oh, somebody's coming back to town because their dad died and like now they're in charge of the mine and they got to decide what to do with it, and like there's an old flame, like that is very much a part of the like subgenre of like
very common trope.
Yeah, what they're like spoofing and stuff. So I get why they did it, but I don't think the like spoofing and parody of it really like worked. And like, I'm glad you said it, because like I had written that down.
You may as well just removed it and just
it could have the whole movie could have worked with or without it, and it would
with or without it didn't add anything to the movie whatsoever to me.
Completely agree.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite. I'm being nice. But
it was definitely up there for me as well.
Very up there.
Like after the second time he did it, I was like, oh, okay, so this is the bit that guy was talking about. Right. Like, you know, it was like it was so easy to clock once you had like a little bit of like somebody like pointing it out kind of a thing. So I think one of my favorite parts of the movie that I had completely forgot about is the conspiracy theorist Harlan that has the like wacko radio show.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite parts.
He was so funny. He was so fucking funny. And like at the beginning, he's like, I'm telling you, they're gonna tell you like aliens aren't true. Like, it's like, well, aliens are true. Lee Harvey Oswald didn't pull the trigger, and then he makes like a racial joke that's like very funny that I'm not gonna say. Like, he's a black man. I'm not gonna say it, but it's fucking funny.
I actually wrote that down in like my notes. I was so like, funny. Wait, this is like still.
I was like, this is still relevant.
This actually holds up really well.
Exactly. I was like, this guy rocks. I would unironically listen to his show. I'm a big conspiracy fan, like not in a bad way, but in like a fun light way. I'm like interested in how they work and operate and stuff. So don't fucking come at me. I am fully vaxxed. Don't come at me. Like don't even start with that shit. Which you could say that now. I feel like I say that all the time. So I'm like, oh yeah, conspiracies. I love them, and I have to like. No.
But what I find is funny is like everyone in the town is like listening to his
radio. They're constantly listening to him. Every single person.
It's like the only radio station they're listening to.
Yeah, like it's literally the only station I think he's the only guy, because they're in what is it? Prosperity, Arizona.
Prosperity, Arizona.
It has a mine that is not prosperous anymore. Haha.
Yeah.
Very funny. Makes sense. Don't hate it writing wise. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny. But Yeah, so I think and like they're the only town for miles and miles and miles. So like that's probably the only radio station they get, and it's this guy in his trailer just spouting out about aliens probing people and like all this crazy shit.
And it just seems like everybody's pissed off that it's on. They're always
so
like,
but it's on all the
yeah,
time.
they're just like,
so like I guess he plays music every once in a while. You know,
maybe,
like,
and we just never got any of it.
That's why they have to tune in. They'd be like, well, maybe he's just playing some tunes, like, and not.
They're always just like, what is this shit?
Yeah, they're always so mad at him. But I loved him, and I loved my two favorite parts with him were like I didn't really care. It didn't like hurt or like make it any better when he's like these are the aliens, these aren't spiders that like even though they're like we know exactly what happened and this is what happened. And he's like no they're aliens, like the invasion's happening, like, and stuff. I was like, that's take it or leave it, like that's fine.
I found that funny.
Like it was kind of funny because they're like that's more believable. The one scene like Chris is like he's like, nah man, like what you're saying is like bullshit, like it's definitely this. He's like, okay, then they're aliens, like fucking pay attention to what we're talking about.
And then he starts paying attention. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and then like he sees the tarantula come and he's like, oh shit, the invasion's starting. Like, okay, like it is pretty good. But like my two favorite things are one, earlier Pete, the deputy, she's like, get all the guns. He's like, okay. And he's getting them out. And he's like, okay, like 9 shotguns, and then we got a couple pistols.
Like the Mossman.
And then he's like, well, then yeah, and then he's like Lee Harvey Oswald's gun. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why that's
but I'm gonna bring it. And I was like, what? But then they bring it back, like when they're like, everybody get guns and stuff. Harlan's the one that gets it. He was like, Lee Harvey Oswald's gun. This is the weirdest day of my life. Like, and he's just like shaking, but he's using that one. I'm like, that is so fucking funny.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
I loved that.
One of my favorite parts.
His whole through line was so good. And then at the end, they have to like, because the power lines get knocked out in a way that I actually was like kind of making fun of, and I was like, actually, that's kind of a cool way that they knock them out.
How about that scene though?
That
like
scene, yeah,
practical effects, maybe
a little tiny bit,
just a little bit of like
and the real explosion. I think the explosion was real. The spiders coming out and their green goo coming out was definitely fake as hell. But I think they actually blew something up.
They definitely did.
We can talk about that scene after this, and then my last thing was like, so power lines are out, so they can't make any phone calls, and so like one guy, like only the mayor has a cell phone. They have to climb to the tower to try and do it. They can't get a signal, whatever. But then all these like emergency response people start showing up, and they're like, oh, I thought you couldn't get a signal. And they're like, and Harlan's like, they didn't, they listened to my show, and they like came to help. And like they drove like 100 miles as fast as they could to come help, because they heard on Harlan's show that aliens were taking over this town, and they were like, let's go. Like cops, ambulances, firefighters, like 100 emergency response.
Everyone listens to Harlan's show.
They're like, yeah, dude, we love it. This guy's locked in. And I'm like, what is this conspiracy shit like so infused into this movie? I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was so fucking funny. I thought it was
great. Everyone listens to his fucking show. It's hilarious.
Everyone listens to it. Like people who probably have other things to listen to. Yeah. All emergency response people listen to his show and love it, and they were like, yeah, we gotta go help this town, we gotta go help Prosper.
He's got some pull, man.
And it's so funny. I just thought that just tickled me so much. But yeah, so how the power lines go out when that scene started. So it's Scarlett Johansson, which Loki forgot she was in this movie until it said her name across.
Pretty crazy.
And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, she is a teenager.
Yeah.
She's the teenage daughter in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it's 2002, so yeah.
And how about the casting? I felt like the wife, or like
she was
the mom.
Yeah.
She
they
was
very similar. Yeah,
they looked very similar, and her acting was like really good.
She was good. She was she was probably one of the best actors in the entire movie.
Yeah, I felt like she stole the show a little bit. She was the strongest.
Yeah, she was definitely the strongest. David Arquette, because he was doing the like funny but not kind of a vibe, like back and forth in a way that's just very David Arquette. I mean, I like David Arquette. Like, he's really good.
And the kid too. The kid was I thought the kid was a rock star.
I think he did a good job with the lines he was given. I kind of hated everything that he said. He was kind of annoying to me, but I have a whole thing with that
I can respect that.
Talk about in a second. But like, yeah, so Brett, Scarlett Johansson's piece of shit boyfriend and stepson or son. I can't remember, of the mayor. Like he's related to the mayor.
It seemed like stepson.
I think it's stepson because he kept calling him Wade, like called by his first name.
That's a good catch,
he's like
actually.
16 years old, and he's calling him Wade.
That's a good catch.
And like that guy,
and he's on the phone, just like
he's like,
go have some fun.
He's like, I'm gonna go like murder people and do a bunch of drugs. And he's like, okay, go. I'm on the phone. Have fun, like and stuff. So very stepson. I'm gonna say stepson. I can't remember, but
it's a good call.
Yeah, when she like kicks him out of the car because he's trying to like fool around too much. She's like, fuck off. And she zaps him with the zapper in the nuts and he pees his pants, which is great. Good for her. And then all he has is his dirt bike and then all of his bros and stuff. And like literally so they're being chased by the jumping spiders on their dirt bikes, like through the desert. And I literally wrote in my notes, totally fucking awesome, wicked dirt bike chase, bro. Like as the note to
ironically, or
it was ironic at the time, and because I was like, this is so goofy. This is just so goofy, and it's so long. But then it ended with he jumps across a gas tanker.
You're taking all my good stuff.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's the best part.
Like, I was like, fuck this.
He
this
drop
is so
kicks
annoying.
the spider.
Yeah, he drop kicks the
midair.
spider, which was fucking rad. I will say, I was like, for what this movie is,
awesome.
It's pretty rad. But he jumps across the gas tanker, and that guy like spins out of control, and the spider's on him, and he knocks out the power lines, and it was cutting back and forth. Pete was on the phone trying to be like, which I thought was funny. He's like she's like, well, these aren't giant spiders, aren't fish or game. And he was like, well, who the hell am I supposed to call to get help? And like the phone or like for missing cats. He's like,
and then it goes out right away.
Like he's like, well, who am I supposed to call? Because there's an epidemic. Like all these dogs and cats are going away. And like the phone line goes dead. And I'm like, oh, and those are going to be gone. It's like, so those are gone. Those are gone for the entire rest of the movie. There's no way they're going to get those fixed. Like this is all about to pop off. I was like, that's actually a pretty clever way to get it. It was like just the scene, like the dirt bike chase. I was just like, all right, here we go and stuff. But then that happens, and I was like,
there was meaning behind it.
It was actually plot relevant.
It was like, it was very plot relevant. Like, like it took away the ability to just pick up the phone and like get help. Mm-hmm. So it was thought through. It was
thought through. So.
And the drop kick.
Come
on.
That's just that was just there for fun.
That was one of the.
And it was fun.
That was one of the best scenes in my opinion.
It is very fun. But I don't know. Again, I was like, fuck this, and then I was like, actually, it's making the plot move forward in a way that it needs to. So I will give it to them.
I love the taser in the nuts too.
The taser in the nuts was great. Also,
but the fact that he recovered. So fast. Like,
well, I mean, giant spiders.
He saw giant spiders and was like,
go.
Like just the adrenaline kicked in.
I feel like, I mean, you know, I haven't personally been in that situation, getting tased in the nuts and then being chased by giant spiders. So I don't know how I'd react.
You might have the will to
be able to get over it, and
to run away.
The fuck out of there. Yeah. So the kid.
Yeah.
The kid. You like him? You like the kid?
I did.
I think his acting is good.
Acting was great.
What do you the character and everything? Like, what are you thinking? Because I have some negative thoughts.
That's fine. Yeah. I thought the acting was great.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. Like, I mean, the writing, just in general, is not exactly what you want it to be.
No.
But I think he was the catalyst to so many events.
Yeah, well, they do the thing where like he starts to explain to Chris when he first finds like the first like giant spider leg, like exoskeleton thing. He like Chris like picks him up like cuz he's hitchhiking because he was grounded, blah 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 blah. And he's like, well, what does it even matter? Like, I'm the kid and you're not even going to listen to me.
Yeah.
And stuff. And he was like, well, give me a try. And he like starts to explain and he's like,
and then he just scoffs at him.
And he's like, okay, see, exactly. And then by the end of the movie, as people are figuring out that he's like super into spiders and stuff and like that they are giant spiders and stuff, like Chris is like, let's listen to the kid for once. And I was like, yeah, of course that was like, it was the writing of it. I was
like of course.
Because normally I'm very like, this kid's way too fucking smart and like is talking like an adult. I think he didn't talk like an adult.
He did not talk like an adult.
He talked like a kid, and I respected that. And he was doing kid shit. Like he wanted to call his weird spider friend, which I'll get to that in a second. He
I wish there was more of the weird spider friend.
It felt weird in a few different ways for me. But like he does like a little brother thing. Like his sister's on the phone talking to Brett, the piece of shit boyfriend and stuff. But he like unplugs the phone and then like plugs it back in, like the landline from the thing and stuff, and then sneaks in there so he can like try and call him and stuff. Like he does like kid stuff. He's grounded, but he sneaks out like and stuff. And he didn't talk like an adult. Like I think one of the worst ones is in the Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World, the two like Bryce Dallas Howard's like nephews that are visiting, the younger one. She's like, well, their parents are going through a divorce, and like the older brother's like yeah, we're gonna have so much fun, it's gonna be lit and stuff, and he's just like, Mom and Dad are getting divorced, and it's my fault. And like the writing is like, it's like, shut the fuck up, kid. Like I don't know.
They were the weakest part of that movie.
He pissed me off. That little kid. I was like, I was like, I get it. My parents aren't divorced and stuff, and I get that it can be hard. It inspired all of Steven Spielberg's career. All of his movies are about divorce in some way. So I mean, maybe there's good and bad in there. But like, I was just like, the way he was talking about it as like a 10, 12-year-old kid. And like how he was feeling about it was a little too mature for a 10-year-old, I think. Like if he was like 15 or 16, like it was the older brother who was being a little punk about it and like whining about it, maybe. But this kid was 10 or 12 years old, and it made me super mad because I'm like, 12-year-old kids, no matter what's going on in their life, do not phrase sentences that way. And it made me so mad. And the kid in this movie,
I hope that's a testament to.
So it did.
The writing was pretty good, and you know what I love? Just a little tidbit that I love about his character was the computer, and he was like, he took like one of the spider legs, and he's like, here, let me input this into my computer.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, let me measure this.
I was like, wait, this shit's 2002. Like this kid's a little boy genius.
Yeah, that was also like he has his own computer in his room in 2002 in this tiny little fucking town that is about to be non-existent. And his mom's the sheriff. How much they paying her?
You could say that's like a plot hole a little bit, but I found it as a testament to like his intelligence. Like
it's definitely a part of
they saved up for a computer because you knew how smart the kid was.
And like it's more the sign of like being a good, like her being a good mom. But like, what does the daughter get? Like, because like you're gonna buy what would be like, it was probably like, I mean, I can't like what the equivalent of today. It would probably have cost like almost like $3,000 to get $4,000 to get that
for
old
that kind
shit
of
ass
computer
and stuff.
I don't know. He was the youngest. He was spoiled,
I guess. And like Scarlett Johansson's character, like
she seems kind of like
she was being a little punk, dude.
She's kind of a punk. She's maybe
said some awful shit, some heinous shit to the mom. Oh my god! Like when they have that little bit of a spat, which is immediately rectified and they make
it was good,
which is good.
That was actually like one of the more heartwarming parts of the movie. Where it's like, I'm really sorry,
but bro, she fucking ripped her. She came out and the mom. I respected. I don't know. It's weird because there was like such bad dialogue and such moments that like I'm like, none of this makes any sense. Like, why are people talking like this? Like, what is even happening plot wise? Like, just like structurally and stuff. Like throughout the movie, but like that the mom when Scarlett Johansson said that heinous shit to her about like, well, I'm not trying to get knocked up at 16 and stay and get stuck here forever like you and the mom goes, I didn't deserve that, and walks away. I was like, that's a really good, like that's really well written, and like
it is
not, like that's
good. How it would have
like
that's what the mom would have said if that was a real life situation. It shows the
mom's character because she and like how strong she is, which badass sheriff woman in 2002, lit as fuck. It was awesome. She was so like in charge. Chris was kind of, David Arquette was just kind of along for the ride.
literally
like, he was.
It made me question like who is this girl? What's her name? Because I didn't know. I'm like, her acting chops are pretty incredible.
I have no idea what she did before or after. Honestly.
Back to the kid though too. I was like, and I didn't look this up. I was just usually I'm like Googling.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really. I was just like taking notes. But it made me think like, where's this kid at? Like,
what's he doing?
Yeah, what's he doing? Because like. Good acting chops by him too. I would say them two, the mom and the kid, were like the stars. The two best. And you know the writing's all over the place, but I would say like they still had like the best like writing and lines.
Oh, for sure. 100% agree with that, because like the mom, her character, like that scene, like it shows her character, like she could have easily blown up at the daughter at ScarJo and been like, and it's been like, okay, so now there's this like little bit of a side plot where like they're in a fight and like maybe she's gonna die, like the ScarJo's gonna die, like because, and then the mom's gonna be really upset about it and stuff. But like it, because the mom like just said, well, I don't deserve chill. That, and like kind of like told her in a very chill but like meaningful way, that's unfair of you to say to me and stuff. It immediately rectified it, and she apologized, and she took the taser and was like,
that's
good.
Honestly a great
like,
point,
and
though.
I thought that was, we didn't need that subplot in this movie. So like there's moments, there's nuggets of like, okay, cool, we're not gonna waste time and make this like a 2-hour movie on that.
It was like 99 minutes, I think,
something like that. Yeah, it's like hour 40ish. Yeah,
but you mentioning that makes me think maybe that's lost potential. Or would you say,
I don't think
like,
it needs
get rid of the love story, and make it about family?
But then why did you pay David Arquette all this money to be in the movie?
Yeah,
you know
good
what I mean?
Point. And I felt like maybe he was a little like underutilized.
The mom is the main character.
The mom
is the main character, and of this movie, and should be.
And he's on the. I think maybe she's
like Okay,
he's on the front,
so
and then she's like cover, in the background.
It's annoying because on the poster, like the typical one where there's a giant spider jumping out of the back, it's like in the desert. It's him up front screaming and like running away, but then it's her to the side, like cowering and like stuff like to the side.
And that is not reminiscent of her character at all.
She should have had a gun in her hands on the poster and like aiming at it, because that's what she does. She is,
after watching the movie, like I forgot what her pose was.
Oh yeah,
but I was imagining her with a shotgun, literally, because that's what she was doing.
You know,
like when the guy gave her the crossbow when they're like in the tunnel with the methane gas, and she's just like, motherfucker, give it to me.
He's like, oh, here, catch. And she's like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Pop. I'm the bad bitch here.
Yeah, exactly. She was like she was commanding everybody and stuff, and it was like, and like, you know, it didn't play on like the bullshit of like small town like mining community, and it's like, oh, we got this female sheriff, like, like she took charge and was like, do this, do that, and everybody was like, yeah, like, and like they respect that, which was awesome. I thought like it was a little bit like and like David Arquette, Chris is like the like he's the like the sappy one. And she's like, we don't have time for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, and so like I respect it in that way, but then when it comes to the kid, I thought that like no one ever listens to the kid, and then like, hey, we should listen to the kid for once. Like that was like a self-aware like spoof of these kind of movies, because again, like in some of these classic ones and stuff, there's a kid who kind of knows more what's going on than like people, and like people are like, you're just a kid, you don't even understand and stuff, and it's like I get it, but. And I wanted more, like the kid was such a good actor, like he did a good job and stuff, like, but I was like, but his whole point kind of, it just didn't hit.
It just goes to show how great the movie is. There's classic tropes, and there's there's
subverting.
There's non-traditional tropes, like the woman is the lead, the woman wears the pants.
Well, she's definitely not like marketed as the lead, but she
should be
definitely
the
not.
Lead of this movie. She definitely
like,
was.
She is like,
yeah. Then, I mean, what's her name? Like, I don't even know.
I have no idea. I'm so sorry. So speaking of like gimmicks and stuff, one of the scenes I hated so much, and it was in there because it was definitely supposed to be like, hey, this is a spoof. Like it's supposed to be the one that like lets you know it's a spoof.
Yeah.
It was when Pete's cat, his wife's cat, gets in the drywall, and then it does this really long sequence of the cat and the spider fighting, and it's like out of the drywall. It's like the cat's face, like drywall, like the cat, like and stuff, and like its paws, and then like the spider, and like back and forth all over the house. And they're like, and like the music, like the music specifically in that scene, like the score, I thought it was like they want you to think this is funny, because that all of those like imprints coming out of the drywall were super goofy and over the top.
Super goofy.
And the music was super whimsical and not like, oh, this is scary kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a big miss for me, because it's like, oh, they like,
because it was like, when the spiders were just being introduced to, so it was kind of like setting the tone for like how we should feel about the spiders.
Exactly. And it's like, so I'm not supposed to be scared. And again, I know it's a horror comedy, like I understand that, but I think there's a way to do it where you can do both. Like you can do a horror comedy, but you're taking the horror elements more seriously, and not straight up scary movie. Like I agree with Michael from Chicago Tribune. Like it's not funny or good enough to reinvigorate the genre, because like it wasn't over the top enough to just be straight up scary movie-esque. But it was also like not taking itself seriously enough to be like it wasn't like this probably isn't the best example, but like a What We Do in the Shadows kind of like horror comedy. Like when it's horror, like the blood sucking in those movies and like those elements, it's like is intense. And like there's some like really spooky looking stuff, but it's comedy, sitcom, and like comedy mockumentary movie originally, like through and through. Like it's hilarious, but like it takes the horror elements of it just as serious as the comedy. And I feel like
that's a great point.
Like I feel like if the music had stayed true, had the same tone throughout with all of those scenes, and was like, because like again, going back to like them and like stuff like that, that would look goofy to, which would look like, if you watch it you'll be like, this looks goofy as fuck, but the music is like violin swelling to like be like, this is scary, this is scary. I feel like if they had leaned more into that, but then you saw like what they're doing is like kind of stupid, and then they have the kid, like they subvert, like, hey, let's listen to the kid for once kind of a thing. Like there's a more subtle way to do it that I think would have made this movie a little more entertaining, instead of kind of being like, okay, and this is a comedy scene, and this is a scene where the spiders attack the guy at the barbershop from behind the thing. That shit scares the fuck out of me. That image is horrifying to me. And like every time like, anybody got put in webs, horrifying to me. But sometimes in those scenes, the music, the score is a little whimsical and silly. I don't like that.
I tend to agree with you slightly, because I would say it was like the 80% comedic, 20% serious. And maybe it would have benefited if it was like, I don't know, 60-40. It was like
somewhere a little more towards the middle, maybe. Yeah.
Like when the spiders go into the mall, and they finally break in, and something that I found hilarious was the tarantula was like the battering ram.
Yeah. But like it also made sense, and like it honestly like kind of made for like, because there's like, if I'm remembering correctly, there's not a score during that moment. Like he's stabbing it in.
Yeah, it's like silent.
It's silent, and all you hear is like the actual.
But then they
sounds.
all bust in, and it's like,
and then they all bust in,
whimsical music.
And it's like kind of whimsical when they're coming in.
And I was like, this could have been perfect.
Be scary.
Yeah, it should have been perfect to have like a really scary moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was,
because it's like kind of goofy, like music when they come in, and so like. I was like, because like they do a great job with the no music, stab, the hole's ripped, and they're all like bracing with their weapons, and then they're like,
and it's like cheery.
Wait, what? Like there's a beat, and then all the little ones, the smaller ones, come rushing in, and it's like, it's not exactly this, but it's like. Like it's kind of like
it felt. That was the one moment where I felt like it was like really not, and it was really off.
There's a bit of it. Well, once I caught on to it in that first scene with the cat and stuff, I was like, I really need to pay attention to the score here in certain scenes, because sometimes there would be scenes where it was like intense and stuff. Like I think the one with Harlan with the tarantula coming and like knocking over his trailer is a little less whimsical. It's a little more like, oh shit, and it's like that was a good scene. Like they're toppling over, and I thought it was really cool how like the radio was still on while they were getting attacked, and people were like, the people listening were like, what the fuck they're talking about?
Everyone in the town listening to Harlan.
But then they're like, yeah, again, he's a hero. But like. that scene, because it was a little more serious music or like less of a score, either way, I thought it was cool how they didn't, or how like they left it on, like the radio was on and like plugged in and he was broadcasting the entire time, and they like slowly but surely were like, well, what actually is going on? Or like they slowly were like turning it up and being like, the fuck, and like that was like kind of like a little bit of like, oh, that's freaky. You're just at a diner, it's like, there goes this guy again. Oh, the sheriff's on talking about this. Is this a bit, like, kind of thing? And then like, oh wait, what's going on over there? And then like the next scene we see with them, a family's has a giant spider on their car, and they're like driving away, and then all these spiders come out, and they're like, oh fuck, we gotta get to the
I
mall.
feel like
awesome.
they needed that like ambiance like over the radio because of just how unserious Harlan was the whole
exactly like
movie.
I like it was weird because it was like, for me, because like when it hit in a way where it was like when they were doing what I would have preferred it to be, less whimsical, more, hey, like we're kind of doing something here, you know, kind of a thing. Like again, like a more subtle comedy approach to it, a more subtle spoof, kind of a thing. And you know, I'm not saying What We Do in the Shadows is not like perfect and does it exactly like right and stuff. Like they obviously there's very goofy moments in that. But when it's a horror scene, shit's wild in that. Have you seen any of that?
The show, right?
Yeah, well, there's the original movie.
Oh no, I've never seen the movie.
Oh, the movie is.
I thought you were referring to the show the whole time. The
show is really good. Well, the show does a good job because Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement are executive producers and like wrote a lot of the first of it. And like Jermaine Clement specifically was like always an executive producer and like keeping the vibe alive. And the show's incredible. But the original movie with Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi,
more serious.
No, it's the exact same tone.
Oh, okay.
But it's just better because it's just funnier because it was the first like thought. You know what I mean? Like it was like the first like,
right.
Oh, what if we made a mockumentary of like
just the
vampires
OG
living together, kind of a thing, and like they're in New Zealand because that's where they're all from, and it's like, oh, like we could like FX is like make a show, put him in New York, get Matt Berry and like Matthew Berry in there. It was amazing. But it's just
which
like,
one's Matthew Berry? Is he the
Laszlo?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
my favorite is
fucking good.
My favorite is the energy vampire.
Oh yeah, Colin Robinson.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Which is hilarious because they
always
call him Colin Robinson. They never call him Colin. They always just call him Colin Robinson as if that's his full like his first name, which is a very subtle bit that I think is very funny. But like even with the show, like when it gets like there is like kind of like serious moments and stuff, it doesn't like the music is always kind of the same. Again, it's a sitcom, so it's a little bit different than like a feature in terms of like how to keep a tone going throughout and stuff. But like all the stuff with Guillermo and stuff, like that's all pretty serious stuff. Like he has serious issues going on like with like Nandor and like everything. But it always keeps the same tone throughout. And you're like, oh, this is kind of a serious scene. Oh, this is a funny scene and stuff. And this one, it was like, okay, now you laugh. Okay, now you're a little scared. Okay, now you laugh. Like it's like
I can concede that. I felt like there are some levels of tonality, just some tonality issues involved. Mm-hmm. But watching it as an adult, watching it as a kid, it was horrifying.
Oh, absolutely! I fucking hate spiders.
Oh, me too.
I hate
me
them.
too. And I had those creepy moments just because of my general phobia of spiders.
Absolutely.
But watching it now as an adult, it is definitely on the comedic side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I will say the CGI held up quite well for me, especially in the first scene. I felt like the first scene when the kid shows up to the spider house.
Oh, yeah.
The small spiders.
The small ones when they get the dude and stuff and like
they looked legitimately real.
That looked good for sure. The bigger they got and in certain scenes, like depending on what they were doing,
like the tarantula.
Yeah.
But then
I thought the tarantula looked pretty good. It looked honestly because it looks. I think because it's fuzzier.
Maybe because it's fuzzier
a little bit.
Maybe it's fuzzier, but there's moments like when they're at the barber shop.
Yeah.
And the spider just comes completely around.
Oh, around the chair and stuff.
Just totally
I had
encapsulates
nightmares for
him.
years about that, dude. I fucking hate spiders, dude. Yeah, no. I definitely was like, ha ha ha, this is so goofy and silly, and was also like, I'm gonna have nightmares about spiders.
Yeah. And anytime it was like a dark space, like when they're in the tunnels, obviously like the lack of lighting definitely helped with the realism.
Yeah.
But overall, I felt like I was
the
about
CGI
to
is
watch
not
it
bad.
and be like,
Yikes.
oh, this is like really, really bad. Like, I can't suspend any disbelief at all. But, but I felt those moments. I got chills.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely.
A handful of times.
The big one at the end, I really, really loved when Chris like gets Gladys and is like, oh, we can't shoot her because of the methane and stuff. Like when she first comes out, is like, I'm like, because they did a good job in certain scenes where, because the problem with a lot of CGI is it's hard to get the lighting right. To be like,
so
can you believe that
the
this
queen,
is in the scene?
the Queen Orb Weaver, like
was,
going through the tunnel,
was great because it's like
ooh.
it's like, okay, it's obviously dark right here and light on this side because of the way that like it's easier to do. Like, so sometimes like the more bright ones, even when it's like well, they're all in sun and stuff, there's like weird shadowing and stuff like and everything, which is
why you probably didn't like the dirt bike scene, because they were in just like completely like desert,
or because when they jump, the jumping spiders jump, they become like they're this close to being pixelated. Kind of a thing. They're just this close to being pixelated. That was my only issue with that.
They would have stolen the show because jumping spiders are.
I hate jumping spiders.
Scary as hell.
Name a spider, I promise I fucking hate it. Like, I don't care what kind of spider it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, these ones are good. They eat mosquitoes in your backyard. Cool. I don't want to fucking see it. I definitely sure as fuck don't want it in my house. Like,
I have a question for you. What was the most like unnerving, disgusting scene?
Disgusting scene.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of the scenes when they like shoot the spiders or anything and like that, like, because all the green goo that comes out of them is comically bad.
Yeah,
CGI. The
it's
spiders
very bad.
themselves have really good moments of CGI. The green goo that comes out of them is awful. I think the thing I was the most disgusted about, though, to that point, to kind of like go back on myself a little bit, is when probably no, that one's worse. The one when Pete, the spider's on his car and he shoots up and stuff, and then practical effect green goo drips into his face and into his mouth. And then no one tells him and it's just on his face. And then he finally realized while they're talking to Harlan trying to convince him and stuff, he's like, why didn't anybody tell me I have this shit on my face? Like, I was like, that is the most disgusting thing. That gave me the biggest ick out of anything in this movie.
That's a good one.
Obviously, like being trapped in a web and like stuff, and like the few shots of the the female orb weaver like stabbing and drinking blood. It's like, ooh, that would be really bad. Like, that's rough. But the practical effect green goo of a spider going into his mouth is pretty so gross. Fucking disgusting to me. I hate bugs and arachnids of all kind. I will not touch them. Austin has to kill every bug in the house that shouldn't be here. We have a cat. It should be his job, but he's not very good at it. He's good at other things, not that.
That's a shame.
Austin has to deal
Freeloader.
with it. Like, yeah, fucking don't even get me started. But she has to do all of it. I can't do it. And I'm like, you have to use a napkin, and if you don't use a napkin, you have to wash your hands for like 2 minutes straight. Like, I like bug ick and goo.
Very OCD.
Is absolutely disgusting.
So
to me.
the most disgusting scene to me was when the black man was mining for the gold, and the water stops. He's spraying the water, and he goes to siphon the hose.
Yep.
And all the spiders go up into his mouth.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were just kind of shitting on him a little bit because they kept going into the tunnel, and then like he was the first guy. There was you didn't see anyone else in webs. It was just him, and his eyes were just bloodshot.
His
wide
eyes
open.
were bloodshot, and he was like face was like
Yeah.
like and stuff, and like everybody else was just like eyes closed, like
yeah, just eyes
normal,
closed, like just at peace.
at peace and stuff.
And
like,
this poor
the couple
guy
that were alive were like, and like, yeah, that guy was. They fucked that guy.
I'm sorry. That was the most disgusting scene. Him siphoning the hose, and all the spiders go up into his mouth.
You know,
he's just sitting there with a full mouth, just like, oh, yeah, that.
You know, I maybe repress that scene for a minute because that's all. That is really bad. I think
that's the most disgusting scene.
I think the
Come
goo.
on.
I think
the goo still.
I think the goo is still just personally so fucking bad for me. Just like, cause it's goo. It's like mushy and stuff, and like, and for me, mushy things are inherently more disgusting than solid things. Like, okay, let me ask you this: what's more? You have a dog.
Yeah.
What's worse, picking up a dry shit or a wet shit?
Wet shit. 100%.
Exactly. All right, I rest my case.
Oh yeah,
that's so much
gooey.
worse because the texture of it.
But the goo got you.
It got me.
The bad goo.
Bad goo. That got me. That was the most disgusting thing.
And how do you not know it was on his face? I don't know. I think that's just part of his stupidity. He was the stupid cop.
He's the bumblefuck kind of a guy. He does his job and he does it well and he does survive. And again, he's older, so you would think it's one of those things where it's like, well, he's probably been in the police force, like in the sheriff's office longer. He's older. He's a white man in Arizona, and he has no problem having the mom like
run the show.
Mom. And he's like, "Yes, ma'am." Like
anything, yes, ma'am.
Like when
there's a lot of girl power.
When David David Arquette like punches the mayor in the face like after the meeting and stuff at the mall and stuff, and she's like Pete, like, get these people out of here and stuff, and people are just not even like standing there watching, and he's like 20 feet, people, nothing.
Yeah,
to
he's
see.
like,
he's like really doing exactly what he's like. All right, go on, you ain't gotta stay here, but
buy the
you
book.
gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Like he was like, and she like kind of walks by him, and she's like, all right, like that was like, a little much. Like no one was making a crowd.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was worried there was gonna be a crowd, and he just like really got into it.
Yeah,
so mad respect to Pete.
Does his job great.
His fucking wife left him though. His wife left him after the cat.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. That
so
was
sad.
just kind of brushed over.
I know, it's so sad.
So yeah, my wife left me.
Yeah. He's like, well, he calls and she's like, no. He's like, no, I just, I'm a little mucusy today.
Yeah, I'm the butt of the joke.
I have my respect for Pete. He was a good guy.
I have a couple other good notes here.
Hit me with them.
Okay.
I have at least one more thing I really need to talk about.
The anal probe. Harlan with the anal probe. It was like at the beginning of the movie. He's just like, they're not going to get me with the anal probe.
They ain't going to get me.
And then literally like 80% into the movie, he was like, when they're on the tower, he's like, you guys aren't going to get an anal probe in my house.
I know. Like,
and I was like, the callback was incredible. It's like, the movie's almost over.
He was horrified by that. And it actually leads into like something I didn't like. I liked that it was like Harlan intros the movie, like talking about stuff, and then it cuts to like the guy driving the toxic tank, and he's like listening.
Yeah.
And he gets distracted and like like whatever, and the thing falls out, whatever. And then it ends with him being like, and that's how we saved our town from the giant spiders. They'll tell you it was just an explosion in the mine, blah 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 blah. Like he does his thing and stuff. And he says, oh, I forgot to tell you 2 things. And the first thing he says is, they did not get that anal probe in me. Like he brings it up again at the very end, which I was like, nice. Like, that's funny. But then he's like, I hated this when he's like, oh, and about all that gold in the mine and stuff, like something. And then he starts to like do like a maniacal evil laugh kind of a thing. And he's got 3 gold teeth and it like sparkles. And that's the end of the movie. And I'm like, okay, so they found the gold and the town is doing fine now. And like is revitalized because they find the huge thing of gold and they're mining gold and they're, prosperous again.
Yeah.
And I was like, but like, why? It just felt weird to me. I don't know. I was like, why is he laughing? Like,
all I took from that was, where's the sequel? I didn't even hear what he said.
Because he actually, you say that he does say like, oh, that's another story for another time. Like, and
Yeah.
he's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
And it like goes in on his teeth, and he's got like ding,
The-
ding,
the-
ding,
yep.
like 3 gold teeth, and then it like fades to black and roll credits. And then a really weird version of Itsy Bitsy Spider plays as the and I
Yeah,
was
the
like,
end
all right.
credits.
I was
Yeah.
like, all right, like, what are we doing? I was like, what is this like adult man, like husky voice man singing Itsy
Yeah.
Bitsy Spider for?
I
Like,
was just like, "Where's the sequel, man?
yeah.
Where's,
Oh, okay.
Where's the sequel
About them
at?"
mining for gold and everything's normal.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy.
I was just
in the
hungry.
town.
I was hungry. I was ready. I'm ready for the
I mean,
the reboot. Where's the reboot?
where's the reboot?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think based on everything we've talked about, if somebody remade this movie today, you could do it right.
You could do it really right.
You could do it right.
Lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned.
But
Let's see.
I don't know if it's would fit in this day and age as like a horror comedy.
I don't think so.
I think it should be a straight up horror.
I think if somebody really leaned into it and just did like an
Yeah.
actual horror thing, they could do some really good stuff. with
They
it.
could really
and like,
do
and
good
again, you
stuff.
could take some straight up shots from this movie and just recreate them with better CGI and again, like better, like a different edit and score and like color grading tone and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, it'd be
I feel like you
horrifying.
could really lean into it, and I would see it, and I would hate myself for doing that to myself. I do want to go back real quick. Can we talk
Yeah.
about this old man, the spider farmer?
Oh yeah,
Can
yeah.
we just talk about this man? One, what the fuck? What the fuck kind of a job is spider farming? I'm sure it's relevant in some way. He's obviously a scientist of some sort. Why does this town that's literally going under, they're literally about to sell their property to leave, because there's no reason to stay there. They literally make a joke. David Arquette, Chris goes to get a shave, and he's like, oh, $4. He's like, oh, $4, that's not bad. He's like, it's all I can charge because there's no jobs and nobody has any money in town and stuff. And and he like makes a joke. He's like, well, maybe I don't need to shave anymore because he's like, I think you're gonna like slit my throat because it's technically my fault because I own the mines now, kind of a thing. Which is a funny bit.
That was a funny
But
bit.
it was a funny bit. I'll give him that. But why is he there? Like, why is
Would
he
you
there
let an
doing
old
that?
man shave your
With a straight
neck like
razor, a
that?
professional barber?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would. A professional barber with a straight razor absolutely would let him
That
do
guy,
me. Not
though?
that fucking
I
creep.
mean-
No, not that guy. But
He was like 85 years old. Rest in peace.
yeah, he was shaky. Like, he was a little shaky. He was definitely a little shaky. So maybe not that guy, but a professional barber who's been doing it for like 20 years, but he's like 40 years old. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be sick as fuck.
For sure.
For sure. It costs probably like $50 today, and so $4 is a good deal.
We don't live in prosperity.
We don't live. Yeah, no, and we have jobs. Chattanooga's doing
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, Chattanooga's great.
We're doing great.
I work remote.
Yeah. I don't. Everything's fine. But the fucking. I don't like that this kid is like my friend, the old man who's a weird eccentric scientist who lives with
Yeah.
a bunch of spiders that he has to bribe customs to get into into the country so he can get them. And like I was like, so this kid can just go see this dude and like it's totally fine and stuff. But then when we first meet the mom, she's like, what are you doing out here? Are
Yeah.
you going to see that guy again? I told you I don't want hanging out with him anymore. And I was like, okay.
Does the mom know something that the
It's
kid does
not
not?
even like it's like not even that. It's just like, okay. I understand. Like I'm like I gave it up a little bit. It was like some of my first few notes. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why is this kid just allowed to hang out with his like who is his? Who are his parents? Where are his parents?"
And he looks
like,
creepy.
yeah, he looks creepy as fuck. And I was like, yeah, but she was like, I don't want you going over there anymore. Like, I like stop going over there. I know you like spiders. I know he's like a spider like thing. Like, I get it. Like, and you're super smart. And I got you a $3,000 computer. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, okay, the mom does not want him going there.
Yeah.
Like, and so I gave it up a little bit. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, also, he's gonna die immediately. Like, I was like, oh, at that point, he was already dead. It was like
Literally
he was already
surrounded by
But, like,
the mutant spiders.
Yeah,
He's like, they're growing. They're growing so fast. I'll be
so
able to
fast.
sell them.
I'm giving them steroids.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, what do you mean sell them? Like, what does that mean? Like, is it like a black market thing? Is he a criminal?
So would you like? Would you not like? Just he was like just all over the place.
Just the vibe of it.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this like 8-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid, whatever, like hanging out with this 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
And he's like calling him like my friend, like and stuff. It just put a weird taste in my mouth until the mom was like, "You stop going over there."
To me, it just felt like he was the cool uncle.
I don't think he was
like the unofficial cool uncle.
I don't think anything like nefarious was going on. Like something like really fucked up was going on.
But how was he like supporting himself?
But like, it's more like plot wise. Why the fuck is this guy out here living in a shack and has a spider farm in this bumfuck town, literally bumfuck town that's about to like go under and be like completely sold and just be a ghost town and like mowed over and like all this shit? And like, why is this kid allowed to hang out with him? But then the mom was like, absolutely not, stop doing that. And I was like, okay, never mind, it's fine. But just like at the beginning of the movie, I forgot kind of like about their dynamic.
It wasn't like, are you going to see your friend?
Yeah. Like it was just
it was kind of shut down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was a creep. Like the first jump scare in the movie was like him standing behind the kid.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, like what the fuck?
Like,
he's wearing all black and he's crazy.
They
like,
kind of I think they wanted you to think that a little bit.
Like he had like fucking Doc Brown fucking hair, like fucking Back to the Future's crazy hair going everywhere. And it's like, oh, maybe was it supposed to be like,
well,
oh, this isn't Back to the Future where there's a teenage boy who's friends with a weird eccentric scientist in town and everything's totally cool and they go on an adventure together. They were like, no, it's a much older man and a much younger child and that guy's gonna die. Like
well, let's be real, you got to be a little crazy to live around a bunch of spiders
and be like, look at this giant one. Also,
oh, they're doubling in size.
That reminds me, I think I got one more thing. Two things actually. I thought the pacing of the movie was actually very well done. Like, I don't think it needed to be any longer or shorter. I think that it was exactly like halfway through when the mom and Chris and like everybody knew that giant spiders were taking over the town. And I was like, that's good. Too soon might have been too much. The buildup was nice, and then it was like
the only person I knew was the kid.
Yeah,
for the whole time.
So I think the pacing of it actually kind of worked in a way that I wasn't super mad about. I
agree.
Then my one more negative thing was the female orb weaver. He says, "Say hello to Consuela," the old man at the beginning. How the fuck? When Chris is driving out with his aunt on the dirt bike and it's exploding, he says, like, goodbye, Consuela, or like, so long, Consuela, or something. How the fuck does he know that?
What does Consuela mean?
Consuela is the name of the spider.
Maybe he knew. Maybe he knows the spiders.
The kid told him. I was saying, if you're going to have a fucking, like, kick-ass, like, we did it.
Yeah.
You gotta establish how he knows.
How he knows.
And I was like,
I get that.
We have not heard the name Consuela since
the first 5 minutes.
The first 5 minutes of the movie. It's just been the female orb spider, the female orb spider, the female orb spider. She's 3 times as big. She's definitely the scariest one. Like, if we can kill her, we can save a lot of people. Like, kind of a thing. Not Consuela.
I don't know. Did the kid
when he ever says
when they were in the computer when they're on the computer? Did he say something? I can't remember.
No, he was just like, "Oh my god, they're getting so much big."
Yeah.
Like, and then like he went hackers mode.
Let me do some hacking.
Let me do some fucking calculations and shit. Fucking nerd. And he's like, and Chris is like, yeah, it should be about that size. Like, I don't think he ever says anything about. He doesn't. I don't think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But like, I'm pretty sure he never says.
There needed to be like, hey,
here's like
bridge.
Like,
between
yeah,
that.
like creepy old man, whatever his name was. Again, he wasn't in the movie long enough for me to remember.
Or maybe it was just like, I don't know. What do they say? Like looking at the camera, like
fourth wall.
Fourth wall.
Yeah,
it's like a fourth wall type thing. Doesn't really.
Then that's even
work
too.
That
that's
way.
too cheeky.
Yeah.
Like in a movie that I already think was too cheeky and whimsical for like.
Yeah.
Being self-aware in this type of movie is great, but you can do it wrong, and I think this movie did do it wrong. There's a lot of good in there, a lot more than I remembered. Again, as a kid, I was just like shaking because spiders, like giant spiders, and like could not.
You were not paying attention
to
anything.
But like this like third time I've seen the movie, probably last night, I was like, I was like, God, there's a lot of potential here.
A lot of
There's a
potential.
lot, which
Where's the reboot?
Which I think is why the Rotten Tomatoes scores, I think they make sense. I think it makes sense. That's 48 critic, 33 audience. The audience was like, "This is just stupid."
Yeah.
But I think the critics were like,
"It's there.
It's
something's
like,
there.
It's like there's something there. Like there's moments that are really good and like paying homage to like
spiders
stuff
are
in a good
scary,
way, and spiders fucking suck.
Spiders are scary. Why is there not a reboot? Like,
dude, I don't know, because Harry Potter came out, the second Harry Potter movie with the big spiders.
Oh yeah.
And like like everybody forgot about this movie because that was scary, even though that was supposed to be fun and whimsical and just be like scary for Ron specifically. But that that scene also fucked
horrifying.
me up. I hate that thing. And like I remember reading the books and stuff and being like, I was like, there's a giant spider that they're all just like, that Hagrid's just friends with, and I was like, okay, so Hagrid's a fucking lunatic. Like, I was like, absolutely not. Oh, you've had him since he's a baby? I don't give a shit.
Not as much
bro.
of a lunatic as the guy in this movie.
No, that guy was not good, dude. Hagrid had a respect for animals.
Yeah,
of all shape, size, and
this guy was just trying to sell them.
This guy was just trying to make fucking money, dude.
Yeah, he's about to be the richest person in prosperity. 100%.
Trying to be, dude. I don't know. Fuck that guy. I'm glad. I'm glad he died so fast. I don't think I have much else. Do you have any other moments? And then like we might be able to come to an agreement. Even if
I will say.
Oh, I do have one more thing.
I just have to reiterate this. I wrote the tank explosion was solid. It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was great.
It was because it was also like, oh, sick, a practical explosion. Oh, also it's actually like plot relevant. Nice. Like,
yeah, and then
it's not Michael Bay, and
then the spiders jumped up on top, and it was like, a little bit of disbelief there.
Yeah.
But the explosion itself was incredible. There was definitely like a budget involved.
They had some money. Yeah, I mean they got David Arquette, who was huge at this time.
Yeah,
he was a huge actor.
100%. Something I found funny, and I wouldn't say like clever, that like everyone's windows were open. And I think maybe because they were like in Arizona, it was hot. Shit, yeah. But like everyone's car windows are open, everyone's house windows are open, and the spiders are just walking in.
Oh yeah, because Scarlett Johansson like comes into her bedroom, and stuff, like totally nonchalant, like she's just like like getting ready for bed or whatever the fuck she's doing, and like the spider just like boop, taps on the window and it just fully opens and stuff. And I'm like, hey, maybe like there's not that much crime like that there, and the sheriff's job's day to day is like pulling over Brett for driving too fast and stuff, and somebody hit my mailbox or something because kids are bored in this fucking town. But like it's the 2000s, bro. Lock your fucking windows. Lock your doors. Roll up your windows, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm with you on that.
When
that was kind of insane.
The cop, what's his name? The stupid cop, Pete. When Pete like rolls up and starts honking his horn, like, "Hey, I'm outside with all the guns," and his windows were down, and that's when I noticed it. I was just like, dude,
they were all down.
Like, clearly some shit's going down.
Some serious shit's going down.
There's some like serious crime. There's a robbery, and like your windows are down. Like, and then that ends up being giant spiders.
Yeah,
and
like doesn't.
It's like the worst case scenario.
Like I don't keep anything of value in my car. Always locked.
Oh yeah,
windows always up. I barely roll the windows down, even when it's like nice and hot.
Yeah, maybe that was an early 2000s thing.
Like I have a sunroof in my car. I never use it. I like never use it. I'm just like, no one needs.
I'm just closing it.
Like just
it's hot.
Fuck it. Like, and like all my doors are locked at all times. Like my car, my house, every window in this house is locked at all times.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, oh, we're gonna open this window for a little bit. Great, shut, lock. Like check them all, lock. And so I don't know. Maybe I also like a lot of true crime, so maybe I'm just paranoid in that way. And I like a lot of horror movies, so maybe I'm just extra paranoid. But it was insane that they were just driving like every car window specifically was open the entire time. They're literally being chased by spiders, and like all the windows are open.
The windows are down,
and it's like. it's one of those things. Like, is it a cinematography thing? Because like there's like glare,
Yeah, because
and stuff from lights and
maybe
stuff. Like it could be, but also I have seen so many movies where that's not an issue.
I'd like to think
Like,
that was intentional, like just kind of a stupid bit. Like
could be.
the windows got to be down, so then
Yeah.
the spiders can like
so they can get them.
get to places.
Yeah, which I mean, you know, it is what it is. I think my last biggest issue, it kind of ties into the like too whimsical and not like as serious as I think it could have been, but still, you know, could have done like the spoof parody thing, is why did the spiders have human emotions and reactions to stuff? The spiders were very humanized in the way they like acted. Like with the explosion with the tanker, one of them comes out and like dramatically falls over and like makes a like a noise. When
I didn't notice that.
when the spiders get into the diner, one of them jumps on the deer head and like goes to attack it because it can tell it's like an animal and it wants to attack it. It attacks it, it bites it, and like pulls out and is like, oh, it's just like stuffed, and goes like pih, and like spits it out. That's I think physically impossible for spiders to do, but it's a very recognizable human thing. And the worst one, the absolute worst one that I was like, all right, I'm so actually a little bit mad about this. When Chris is on the tower on top of the mall, you know exactly what I'm about to say, don't you?
I think so.
And he zip lines down to the HVAC unit so he can like crawl back in that way. A spider also zip lines down, which spider zip lining down, okay, that's not even the worst part. Chris goes, ah, like and stuff, because of adrenaline, he's scared, like whatever.
Yeah.
The spider goes, ah, like makes a similar noise, and I'm like, they literally can't do that. And so it was like the spiders were like cheeky and like kishy and like doing like little.
I
like,
thought you were gonna say when
like
he
that.
jumps into the air vent and the spider just completely like gets
doinks,
hit, like just doinks.
And then, like and he like doinks and he's like, oh, like they make like these like cartoon animal like noises and stuff, which like that's great for a Disney movie, that's great for a Pixar movie, that's great for anime, like it's great for fucking Pokemon and stuff. Like
it was just like slightly dispersed in there.
Yeah, it was just like there was just like a good like 3 to 5 moments specifically.
I don't know. Maybe they got smarter. Maybe they just got more conscious.
They just got bigger, dude. It was just because they were taking the steroids from the toxic waste because of the bugs they were eating and the fucking crazy guy was giving them. It didn't make them smarter, and if it did, it never got brought up. But they like became like they like personified them, like they anthropomorphized them in a way, like mentally, where they were like making squeaking noises. And again, I'm not an expert. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think spiders can bite something and then go and like spit it out like they're disgusted by it. I think they just bite stuff and then they drop it. They just go and then they move on if they're eating something.
I don't know. I can't argue.
That's part of the like. That was another part of the whimsical thing that I was like, I gotta bring that up. Like, I was like,
that's fair.
I was like, no, these are straight up animals just killing people like that. Like Jaws didn't do any goofy shit like that, and Jaws is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
The Meg didn't do anything like that, and there's scenes in the Meg that are fucking horrifying.
They were very
like that's an action
much
romp.
themselves.
Yeah, like that was an action romp, but like we'll not talk about Jaws 3 when they're in an underwater thing like in the Meg, and it like this horrible CGI of the time where it like doinks into the window and then it shatters. It's so bad looking and stuff. Jaws 3 is whatever. Just watch Jaws 1.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah,
I didn't even really notice that. Besides,
I could not notice it when I first saw it.
When in the tower, when
the
it
doink,
just doinked right off of the air vent.
Yeah,
and I was like, a spider would. They have a little more attention than that. Yeah, they're not going to be like a human just completely ragdolling.
Yeah, it was goofy for goofy's sake is what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I found that at that point, with taking into consideration like the score and everything of like, oh, why is this like upbeat and whimsical when it should be like scary? Like you can do both. And like you can keep it the one tone and hit both points. I think
Yeah.
that was just like the final nail in the coffin. When I picked up on that at some point, I was like, they're literally like doing human things and
Yeah.
stuff. And like
That's fair.
a big point of these like big monster movies that they're spoofing is that they're just like they're mindless and stuff. Unless I'll rebuttal myself, unless they actually are somehow aliens. And
Or
Harlan
aliens.
was right the entire time.
Maybe.
Based on how the movie's set up, I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think that's true.
I don't think it makes any sense. But I love Harlan to death.
Yeah, Harlan.
He was probably one of, if not my favorite characters.
Yeah,
He
same
was
here.
so funny.
Same here. He really brought it all together.
Yeah.
The goofiness.
Yeah, his goofiness makes sense and works. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
there's always a more silly character in all these kind of old movies and stuff. So I don't think I got anything else. I don't know if you got something else. You got something else? Hit me.
I just got a few ones that I want to shoot off, just funny moments.
All right.
The mayor with the ostrich burger.
Jesus Christ.
He was at the diner and he's like, man, this ostrich burger is really good. And like the
I'm
only
glad
other
that-
animals we saw was like an ostrich. I'm like, are they like starving in this? Like,
Dude, I don't know, because like when they have the town meeting, he's like they're all bitching about like why the town's like, he's like, they're all like, this stupid mall that we don't need.
yeah.
And stuff like what, like it was a terrible idea, Mayor. And then they're like, the ostrich farm, and he goes, and Wade goes, he says ostriches are like a prosperous business, and the meat's great. Like he like, and then it cuts back.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great ostrich
And
burger tonight.
man, this is really good tonight. I thought that was hilarious.
I definitely had to pause the movie for a second and be like, oh my fucking God. Like that was a good bit. Like that's a good quick little joke. Like
It was
the
quick.
first one and then a callback to it, but you could have had all the tone be the same horror thing and be like, this is a horror comedy.
They
You know
have
what I mean?
no.
Like, they could have done that.
They have no cow's beef. In this
Yeah, there's
town.
only
Just
eat
ostrich.
ostrich beef burgers.
Can I get a cheeseburger? An ostrich cheeseburger.
Yeah, can I get an ostrich burger, please? Yeah, like come on.
The next one is perfume was a WMD
That
where he sprays.
that was another one of those. It's being way too human because it like goes like
Yeah, you're kind of right. But I loved
like that.
I loved
and
the
it's-
creativity, and the kid was so smart. The kid needed some
the kid
tool.
saved
Yeah,
Chris and his aunt, and therefore the town, because they were actually able to go find the gold after. There were one or two people who knew exactly how to get to it.
I felt that was like a
And-
very important tool. Maybe it wasn't fleshed out like we wanted.
I respect it. And
The
it did-
perfume was like, hey, I have a higher level thinking of like what is gonna help you.
Sure,
So-
and I get that, and I thought, and I did,
And it was silly,
I did
too.
Like, I
It was just, like,
liked
spraying-
that he like that he uses it finally, because like for a moment there, I was like, do they not? I was like, that's such a like typical like Chekhov's gun, like, oh, use this, it'll help, like, so of course they're gonna use it at some point, like and stuff, and I was like, oh damn, do they not use it?
I just enjoyed that
yeah.
scene of just the spraying.
Yeah, but again, it's like it's so goofy because
It
like
is
David
goofy.
Arquette is like.
Yeah.
Like he does like a little, and it goes like a dog almost like
Yeah.
"Ooh," like at least like and like
just
it's
plays
like,
into his like sappy character.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
kinda-
again it makes sense in that scene, but also a second ago I was shaking because this giant spider was walking up, and now it's like a completely different tone because the music got whimsical too. Again, got more.
The last one I
like,
have
yeah.
is the mannequin sexual innuendo. When do you remember that?
Yeah, Pete goes into that store that like was already out of business or whatever, and it was just a bunch of mannequins.
That was
and stuff.
and that was the quickest
Just
little
that quick shot.
Yeah.
Again,
It should have leaned in. I will argue it should have leaned into more of that.
But
like
that
I
was,
enjoyed that.
was so funny because he doesn't even notice it. It's literally a shot for us.
Yeah,
like
just
you know,
for
just
us.
like boop,
Like,
like
boom.
yeah, and like that was great. But like the fucking what was that? I don't know. But all being said
all
and
I
done,
got.
all that being said, everything we've just talked about, I think I'm gonna say, and you can disagree. We don't have to come to an agreement.
Yeah.
We'll I'll post a poll on Instagram, and we'll see what everybody else thinks about it. But like, I'm gonna say it's bad because I don't remember the last time I saw it being like noticing this like, God, there's so much potential here. Like if they had done it just a little bit different, not even that much. Like if they had just done a couple things a little bit different, this could have been a really good, like they could have done the like what we do in the shadows type thing where they're like taking the horror seriously, but it's still very funny. And like, obviously like, cause there's definitely moments like in, like you've seen in the show when they like kind of like vampire out and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's like, that's intense. Like they like it looks scary and stuff. Like,
yeah,
like, fuck, like that's kind of a lot, like for what's supposed to like be a comedy, whatever. Like if they could have been doing that way before, like they could have, if they had been able to tap into that, I think this would have been fucking crazy. And then the bad that's really bad is just really bad. But there are some really good moments in there. So I liked it more than I thought I was going to, but I'm still saying it's bad because they got me thinking, damn it, there was a better way to do this. And that's one of the worst things about doing this podcast. There's some movies that I'm like, I have to say it's bad because they fucked it up. Like they had the right idea, but they fucked it up. So I'm still going to say it's bad.
That's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, I think we're coming to an agreement somewhat, because I personally love this movie just for nostalgic purposes, for the goofiness of it. But there were some, watching it as an adult, there were some tonality issues.
Sure.
And I wish that it's close to great, but I'm gonna say it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's bad.
Right.
I'm taking it for what it is. Like, you're never gonna have a perfect sandwich, you know.
No,
but sometimes you're eating a sandwich and you're like, this is pretty good, and that's where I'm kind of at with Eight-Legged Freaks.
And that's fair. So basically, we're saying the same thing. You're okay with it. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. You're like, so you're angry.
We agree. I'm like, God damn it, this could have been so much better. Like, like you're saying, this is a pretty damn good sandwich. I'm happy. No, don't need to sub anything out. Don't need to substitute like this for that. And I'm like, damn it, if I had just ordered it with this instead of this, like, it would have been right there, and I would have been like, this is a great sandwich.
But I'm sitting here content with like my sandwich. I'm not really thinking about how it could be better.
Yeah. Well,
so I think
maybe that says more about me than it does about this movie. Maybe. Honestly, I don't know.
With that said, though, if there is a reboot, I want it to be like pure horror. I would like a pure horror, big spider movie, because it's gonna scare everyone shitless.
I don't know a single person who I don't know anybody who's like this fucking kid. Who just loves them,
super into spiders,
and is like,
it
oh
is
my God,
a very small percentage of the population.
They're important, all science is important, and like we need to know stuff about everything. Great,
but I'm killing those motherfuckers.
Actually, Austin's killing those motherfuckers for me while I'm literally cowering around a corner, being like, "Did you get it?
Did you get it?
Did you get it? Okay." And then I'm like, "Okay, I can go in this room again, but I'm not going over there for at least 20 minutes in case there's another one for some reason, some fuck ass reason."
I will say. The horror did hit though. I mean, like I was looking around my house and I saw like just a little thing move, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
I definitely had that too. Like I went to the bathroom after. Between this viewing and then watching The Mist after, because I was like, "Ooh, I need like a really good one." Like I was like, "I gotta watch." I definitely went to the bathroom and I opened the door and something moved across the floor and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just a little bit of dust."
It goes into your psyche
just like a little bit of dust that's on the floor, like not a big deal. And I was like, "Okay," I was like, I definitely Yeah, and then after watching The Mist, between the two of them, because there's giant bugs in that too for a bit, I was itchy. You started feeling stuff went to
on
go
your
to bed
skin.
and put on something light before I went to bed and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, I'll watch it up," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna snuggle up and lay here," and I was just like, I was like, "God, I'm fucking itchy as fuck." I was like, anything that touches me right now, Ugh. So did a great job with that. I'll give you that. But yeah, so. Great sandwich, could have been better sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, just good enough sandwich.
Yeah, good enough sandwich. I'm content.
Good
You know,
enough
it doesn't have to be
sandwich.
perfect.
Could have been better
Yeah.
sandwich if I had only.
I would say that's a fair
Yeah,
agreement.
I think that's
you know?
I think that's a good consensus. Well, on that note, follow on social media, Bad Movie Debate Pod, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all those places. Vote in the poll on what you think. Just good enough sandwich or
Just good enough.
or could be better sandwich. We'll see what y'all think. Thank you so much for jumping on, man. I'm glad we
Thanks
finally
for
did
having
one.
me. This
Oh,
was a
of course.
blast.
Is there anything? I do this sometimes. I don't always do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to plug or shout out? Anything? It doesn't have to be something personally benefiting you. It could just be like watch the Cubs. Like you could just say that
no,
again.
not really.
Like,
I guess just watch the Cubs.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
Go fucking
Hey,
Cubbies.
I'm
Go
a Cub-
visit Wrigley Field. It's the best field in the MLB.
It's the only MLB field I've ever been to because my dad is a Cubs fan,
I love
so
that.
I was raised a Cubs fan. So go Cubbies!
Yeah,
I'm with you. On
nothing
that.
to plug. I literally am not on social media. I just look at Instagram reels.
Oh yeah, no, you can direct people to something too. I had
nothing in my mind.
I had somebody on a while ago, my friend Asia, and I was like, "Oh, is there anything you want people to like pay attention to or like plug anything?" And she was like, "The Drake Kendrick beef is the most important pop culture thing going on right now, and if you aren't caught up, you need to get caught up because there's major ramifications from it." And I was like, "That's great. Like, yeah, that worked. It can be as simple as go Cubs." Like,
I wish there was something on my mind
pop
that
culture's
was
pretty-
heavier.
Pop culture's pretty lame right now. There's not anything fun going on.
Yeah, it's just
except for that
summer.
Coldplay concert.
Go watch Superman.
Yeah, dude.
Sick.
Yeah, go watch Superman, dude. Yeah, like simple as that.
Yeah,
movie
if we were
fucking
just-
rocks.
Yeah, if we were talking about that movie, it just
Yeah.
would have been like.
It
I
just would've
agree.
been-
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
would
There's literally
have been the
no
most
notes.
boring podcast
Yeah, it would've been
ever.
so fucking boring because it's like there's literally no notes.
There's nothing.
I think
wrong.
we'll end on this. I think my one note on Superman is the fight choreography, except for the one scene with Mr. Terrific, pretty standard. Like, and it's like I was hoping maybe we'd see a little something more interesting. Again, the Mr. Terrific one with that song playing and Lois Lane and stuff was fucking awesome. I was hoping there would have been more of that, but it was like a lot of like, oh, it's since Iron Man, like this is all the choreography we've always seen. And that was literally my only negative note on that movie.
What, that it wasn't
that the choreography wasn't it was shot pretty standard, normal, like exactly.
It just
what
seems
you'd
like
expect.
fast.
Yeah, it's just like so fast
and
quick
definitive.
cut, like okay,
Yeah,
and it's like
it wasn't
like,
really creative.
Like it's like you get
Like,
out of it a
in that
little bit
sense.
because it's like it's not cinematography wise, like and editing wise, it's like copy paste of like everything since Iron Man, except
But
for that one scene.
It's also just Superman. Like
But it's also
you
Superman
just
beat the
punch,
shit out of people. Yeah,
punch, kick.
yeah, which is
just
awesome. A1,
blaze into
A1,
him.
A1.
I wish there was more lasers. I wish there was
Yeah,
that laser scene was like.
that laser scene was good. Yeah, he
It was
didn't use
almost
his
like-
laser thing like at all.
I was just hungry for more like.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Killing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
way he
yeah.
was spinning, I was like,
That was
because
cool.
that was in the trailer, and I was like,
Yeah.
we got that spoiled a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was hoping there was a couple more scenes like.
Yeah, exactly. See, I think that's part of it because like that
Yeah.
scene in the Mr. Terrific one was great. The Mr. Terrific one, if that was in the trailer, I would have been pissed because that was the best fight scene. That was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we digress. Superman's amazing. Go watch it. If you don't like it, dumb.
Yeah. Just
That's
stop
all I have
watching.
to say. Just stop. Just go.
Don't watch this. We
Yeah,
agree
don't
with
watch
you.
go watch fucking Justice League.
Yeah.
Like you fucking
Go watch
nerd.
Wonder Woman.
Well, Wonder Woman 1's okay. Wonder Woman 2's terrible. 1984 is terrible.
It's alright.
All right, well that's it. Bye.
See ya.